everybody. You ever had that crazy uncle at a family party and he says, these three guys walk into a bar? Well, I got two of them compadres right here. My name's Stu Turley, President CEO of the Sandstone Group. We got us, the three podcasters, Walk Into a Bar podcast, where we cover energy and solve the world's problems. I've got coming around the corner, the David Blackman. David Blackman is a Forbes contributing author, and I mean that rascal's got the Energy Question podcast. He's on Substack. He's got the Energy Absurdity Today, and I'm having a pass out because he's also got another podcast with the Energy Transition Weekly. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful, fabulous rainy day in Texas.
Oh, fantastic. Next, let's go to RT. RT is in that beautiful town of Houston, Texas. RT is the podcast host for, are you ready? It is the Crude Truth. I mean, that rascal is bringing the crude truth all around, and Google loves your website, doesn't it, RT? You're also a big dog over at that EMP operating company, Pecos Operating. Welcome.
Oh, good day, good morning, good evening. Hello, everybody. Thank you as always for listening. And yes, I guess so. I'm pretty excited that if you type in the Crude Truth, I'm at the top. Who would have ever thought? And that was just done by the group at Sandstone. The secret is there. And Stu Turley and his group over at Sandstone Group can share that secret with anybody out there that's listening as well. But yeah, no, it's I guess, is it raining there in DFW today, David?
It is. It's lovely, man. If you're in Houston, you're probably getting flooded, aren't you?
I'm looking out the window as we speak, and yeah, no, it's a good day. I'm on the 15th floor right now, so I'm okay.
Okay, you're safe.
Now.
You're
I'm
all
okay.
right.
You're safe.
I used to work in Houston, and I didn't like it when you had the cockroaches so big you had to put a leash on them dang things and take them for a walk every day. Man, I even had one that went out and got my beer. I mean, that was absolutely like, hey, Ralph, go get my beer. And he's like, okay, because he'd grab a ham sandwich in there. Them some big cockroaches.
It's a fun
That is
town.
a big cockroach.
Well, Houston's a darn big town, and I had several meetings, one at 5 yesterday and then one again at 7 in the evening yesterday. And you just get turned around in this giant town. I do. And so shout out to everybody that lives in Houston and knows how to work this traffic on a daily basis. Shout out to all them out there.
And all the pets that are cockroaches. All right. Hey, guys, we got us a action-packed show at the bar today. I want to give a shout out to Tucker Carlson here, and he has brought up a lot of fantastic things. He has kind of really exposed the media and really has shined a light on the importance of the independent journalists. And our podcasts are independent journalists trying to get the word out about energy in a very sensible way to take care of humanity. I mean, let's take care of the environment. Let's not be stupid. Well, I have a hard time doing that. But with him going, I want to know what you guys think. With him going to Elon and him, he's bringing his show to Twitter. Now, how outstanding is that? And I just want to give a shout out to Elon for buying Twitter. But on the other hand, also the African, what's his name? He is phenomenal. The reporter from Africa that's been shunned by the
from Nigeria that the press secretary won't ever call on during the press briefings.
I love him. Love him. He is phenomenal. Anyway, what do you guys think about independent journalism as it's much needed now?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's the future of news reporting in America as all these legacy platforms die. Well, they are dying because their audience is going away, and Carlson moving to Twitter. That's my gosh, Fox News ratings are already off by 25% since the idiots fired him.
Wow.
And him going to Twitter and competing with them is only going to cause them to fall further. If you look at the cable news rankings, MSNBC actually had higher ratings than Fox did last week in prime time. And that hasn't happened in a long, long time.
Wow.
It's a big
I
deal.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And CNN, if it had to be profitable, CNN would have been out of business 10 years ago. Yeah. But it's a subsidiary of what is it, AT&T, I guess. Right. And that big overarching corporation views CNN's operation as a loss leader that attracts advertisers, woke advertisers like CNN. So, it stays on air, but no one should pretend that CNN is, as a standalone, in any way profitable, because it isn't.
Wow.
Well, isn't journalism already supposed to be independent? Like, isn't that part of what we do? And
well, it was supposed to be, yeah.
It's supposed to be. I'm going to say this, that, after going back and watching some of the other, the MSNBCs or CNN, where one of them basically called Tucker stupid on air, saying he was stupid and reckless for saying what he said. And I guess my first question is, what happened to freedom of speech? Okay. And because he believes 110% that whatever it is that he said is true. And not to get off on a tangent here, but that is no different than a man that believes he is a woman right now to say, I am a woman, and we have to take it at his word that he is a woman, that it is true. So that's a very valid argument right there. And the fact that Fox had to pay pert near $1 billion, $750 million to settle this, and they let go of their number one advertiser, and then for them to say that they weren't even really getting the viewers that they wanted at that 7:00 hour, but yet it was the most viewed hour. I don't see how that's Tucker's fault. Okay. And that it wasn't like that. How is it his fault that they weren't getting the viewers that they wanted when they made sure that the MyPillow commercial is on every other commercial? Okay. So they're making $1. Transitioning now to Elon Musk, he's a businessman. The former owners of Twitter are not business savvy. And guess what I see here now? The advertisement dollars that they will now go probably live at 7:00 or whatever time. And then guess what? It is now going to be then out there for real easy access. I know sometimes when I got to pull a clip from Fox News, I got to go dig on the website to find it, to then put it up wherever I want it. Not to mention, my folks, they recorded Tucker, so they got to watch him when they could. That could possibly bring a whole new audience to Twitter. I don't know.
Oh, it will. Sure. Yeah.
And
I'm dead on right. RT, you are right.
Yeah. So it could.
Did I say that?
But getting back to it, freedom of speech, y'all, is a true thing. And it is in our Constitution. I understand that there's slander and there's liability or whatever it is, but there's also a gray area for that stuff. So it's a shame that Fox did what they did. It really shows where we are as a nation when it comes to us getting our news. And I think why podcasting is going to be part of the future. In fact, a quick little shameless plug. I did a great episode on the Crude Truth with a lady named Sarah Crilly, who's vice president over at Real News Public Relations. And they understand it and that, hey, a majority of people 35 and younger watch and listen to a lot of podcasts. Individuals that are older than that, they're learning stuff while they're on the golf course. And it's like, oh man, I gotta listen to this oil and gas podcast today, and they're taking notes while they're playing golf on the golf course. So podcasting is a mobile thing that they can listen to and learn. And hopefully, people can learn something and maybe get a little piece of information from the three podcasters walk into a bar. God knows they get it whenever they listen to the Energy Question with David Blackman or the Energy Stand Up with Michael Tanner and Stu Turley. So I think podcasting is part of the future, and I think Elon Musk understands that, and so does Tucker Carlson. So bravo to them.
David, and I have really appreciated you guys, but I know we do. All of us have an open invitation to anybody that wants to come on our podcasts as an industry thought leader to visit with us. We all deal in facts. So if you can bring facts and you want to talk about renewable, you want to talk about nuclear, you want to talk about anything, even geopolitical or even political now, I'm all in. Come on by. Just reach out to us and we'll talk.
Yeah, I've interviewed executive CEOs from, three different battery makers, a lithium mining company, a lithium extraction company, a nuclear company, and about to interview a CEO from a geothermal company next month.
Nice.
In addition to, executives from oil and gas companies and trade associations and subject matter experts, analysts from companies like Enverus. And, we just try to present the whole spectrum on that podcast and do it in a way that's non-confrontational and allows the guest to, get the most out of the appearance, which is what the goal is. And it's been a model that works okay. I think it's done pretty well. I'm not the best interviewer in the world, and freely admit that, but I do get some good guests who are very, very eloquent and very adept at laying things out.
I'm going to give a shout out to all three of us. Our podcast scores are up in the 90s to 96% range for time on either time on page with the transcripts and or listen scores, or it's quality, how much has been listened in the podcast. It's pretty cool.
Good. Yeah. I find that that score goes down after you get past 30 minutes, though, right? If I go overtime, it's not great. People start signing off. But,
it does depend on, like Biden has depends all the time.
Yeah, it's hard though. Those 30 minutes go fast, man. I just recorded an episode with Tammy Nemeth, and who's on the Energy Transition podcast with us, and man, it felt like 5 minutes. And Armando Cavana too. I just recorded one with him. Same thing, man. You look down and time's almost up, and you feel like you've just gotten started. So that's just motivation to have them on again, in the weeks to come. But it's tough. It's tough getting everything out of 30 minutes.
You bet. Now, RT, you've had some political folks on there, and you got to meet the governor. I mean, you even had your picture with a governor. So now that you're an official bona fide podcast host, you can get an audience with a governor. It's pretty cool.
It'd be great if I could get. I'd like to get Governor Abbott on the Crude Truth for sure. So if he's listening, which I'm sure he is, because all the important people will listen to three podcasters walk into a bar. I definitely invite Governor Abbott to come onto the show and just talk about how he's continuing to fight the administration to protect oil and gas jobs and protect oil, and more importantly, to protect our economy. Right now, I think we got to be protecting our grid. To kind of transition here for a minute. Before I do, though, I just can't say it enough. Freedom of speech is very important. So thank you again to everybody that just listens to us. Hopefully you can agree, not agree, but the point is we can talk about it.
I'm raising my hand. I want to say something about Governor Abbott, if that's okay.
Oh, please do.
He was in Robstown, Texas on Wednesday this week or Tuesday this week
He rolled
with
into
Elon
town,
Musk,
huh?
with Elon Musk doing a grand opening for a lithium processing plant that
Nice.
Tesla is building in Robstown, Texas. Going to create hundreds of good paying jobs. And it's a Texas business that Tesla has become undeniably. And it's going to be, we talk about telling the story of the whole energy space. We have to have lithium. You have to have lithium for the batteries, for the electric vehicles, and battery backup for wind and solar power, because there's no other viable technology out there right now. And I just wanted to give kudos to Governor Abbott and to Elon Musk for making that investment in Texas. It's a $500 million plant that's going to provide hundreds of good paying jobs and produce a product that is desperately needed to facilitate electric vehicles. If we're going to transition to them, we have to have the lithium for the batteries. So I just think that's something that's commendable, and we should be grateful that Elon Musk is investing all these billions of dollars in the state of Texas.
I'm very grateful for Elon. I'd have his kids. But
I'm more grateful to him for Twitter. I will say that, but good for him on Tesla.
Now, David, what is your Twitter, like, since we're on Twitter, what is your Twitter handle or whatever it's called?
My Twitter handle is Energy Absurdity, which is why so many people can't find me. They go look for my name, and that's not out there.
Okay. And then mine's truth_crew. And I guess the crew truth was already taken, and but that's my truth_crew Twitter account.
mine's Stuart Turley 16.
16.
He's a 16.
There's that many Stuart Turleys on Twitter?
I don't know.
Man, that's amazing.
It is. It's actually my mental state as in years.
Your IQ, is that what you're saying?
Now you're talking. Yeah, okay. My name's Stu Pid Turley. My middle name is Pid.
Pid. Terrible, Stu. Come on down. Well, I'll tell you this, transitioning over, we're getting into the summer, and I've been reading a few reports that they're already hedging against letting us know that we could have rolling blackouts this summer. And I was at a meeting at lunch yesterday, and one of the guys goes, "Oh, they're just hedging, like they're just covering their bases." And I didn't say anything, but it's like, no, they're not. Like they are, yes, but no, be ready. When we get into late July, early August, when it's that good old Texas heat of 100 degrees, there'll be some rolling blackouts. And David has said it before, and I'll let him take it from here in a second, but I don't remember having this problem when I was growing up in the late 80s, early 90s. And the reason why is because we're transitioning more and more to wind and solar for our power grid.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. People try to talk around it in 100 different ways, but yeah, we never had a problem with blackouts when we were growing up, and yeah, but it was a different. It was not this capacity market that we have now, and you can't force these generators to build reliable generating capacity, unfortunately, and our system hasn't, our markets-based system hasn't created the market signals to encourage them to build reliable thermal generation capacity. And of course, you can't get new nuclear permitted anymore. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, the governor, to be critical of him now, likes to boast about all the additional capacity coming onto the grid here in recent years. But it's pretty much all solar at this point, with some wind sprinkled in. And, at the end of the day, we still, in an emergency, don't have anything like the backup generating capacity we need for the really, really hot days and severe winter events. And so, yeah, ERCOT has to hedge its bets with saying, well, we could have blackouts in certain circumstances. And, I mean, they said the same thing before last summer, and we got through the summer, thankfully, although we came close a few days in August. hopefully we can squeeze through again this summer.
Yeah, I got a problem squeezing through with my waistline. I noticed the other day that didn't the legislation in Texas pass for a couple billion to put in natural gas plants to back the grid up?
No.
I thought they did.
So a bill passed the Senate that would provide tax incentives, property tax incentives, rebates or abatements, excuse me.
Yeah, that's
for companies that build new thermal capacity, but it hasn't passed the House, and it'll probably get killed in the State Affairs Committee like everything else goes to die. That's good.
Well, but isn't that part of like the whole deal where it's like they'll give the corporations these property tax cuts, but yet here they were talking about giving us all here in Texas a property tax cut with the billions that oil and gas helped generate, and yet they're really not looking to do that either, right, David?
Well, they are. I mean, but there's two competing plans. There's the Senate plan and the House plan. Okay. And at some point, there's going to have to be a meeting of the minds between the Speaker and the Lieutenant Governor on what the full legislative plan is going to look like. And
wow,
they'll pass something. If they don't, I am very confident, Governor Abbott, again, speaking to you, that you will call special session in the heat of the summer and tell them to stay there as long as it takes to get a property tax cut done for individuals. And he's promised to do that. So hopefully he'll follow through.
Governor Abbott. Hey, Governor.
There you go.
I got you 3 podcasts. You want to come on 3 individual podcasts? Oh, he's going to roll into town, guys. He's all in.
Yeah, I won't be expecting his limousine anytime soon.
Yeah, you talk about, first of all, David, your show with Jason Modulin has been huge. That you guys can actually sit there and kind of break down what's been going on. I'm hearing rumors already that all the congressmen and state senators are already mentally preparing for special session. That's a rumor I'm hearing.
Yeah, they're spending so much time on these social issues that they're in danger of not getting the actual business of the state done. And
isn't that interesting that these social issues that are really first world problems are the things that are tying up the actual stuff that we need to get done?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And it unfortunately seems to be an increasing affliction in every subsequent session. The legislature has only a few obligations that it has to get done in every session. And unfortunately, it feels like with every new session, they spend less and less time on what their obligations actually are and more time on all this elective stuff. Let's just call it that. I'm not saying some of this isn't important, but you have to prioritize what you're doing down there in Austin because you only have 140 days to get it done, and it's a lot. And it just seems some priorities are out of whack.
I would agree with that. That was my middle name, Pid, talking. Hey, we got about 3 more minutes each. RT, tell us your thoughts. What's coming around the corner for this week, and you?
Oh man, well, I'm just excited. We'll see I'm excited to see where all this fallout goes of them releasing all of President Biden's financial dealings with China over the last 20 years. I'm pretty sure it's not going to go anywhere, considering I think 2 out of the 3 major news sources are not even really talking about it. But I think there's a way that he'll be able to get out of it. Very interesting that they were able to get their cut in any form or fashion, even while he was vice president. So that'll be something just fun to watch on TV. The Tucker Carlson saga is also going to be something I'm going to like to watch. Out in the field up in North Texas, we've been getting rain for the past week.
Ooh.
So, we don't have the roads like we have in West Texas. My youngest brother is always giving me a hard time going, you need to get the roads better up there. And like we have out here in West Texas. And I'm like, well, maybe one day. But So I'll be still working and probably doing a little bit more travel, but I'm excited. I got some great guests coming on here real soon. I just dropped another episode of The Crude Truth. I think I said it last week. Chrissy Craddock getting ready to come on. Robert Bryce episode's going to drop here real soon as well. So just very excited. And also, hey, we're getting ready for summer. It's May. Let's go. It's time to get the summer tan going. So very excited.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that Robert Bryce episode. That guy's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I know Stu just dropped his.
Yes, he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
it was very nice of him and Meredith. That's already rocking down on the downloads. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
Hey, David, what's coming around the corner for you?
Oh man, I'm just keeping my head down and writing and podcasting and substacking and trying to stay busy and make a little money. It's gets harder and harder all the time. With prices going up, I know for most people it gets harder and harder, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So I'm just trying to keep plowing ahead.
But your Substack is worth the money. So I pay for it just so I can steal your material. But
there you go.
I recommend corporate sponsorships and everything else. So with that,
somebody told me the other day I put too much on my Substack that's free, and I said, "Well, how are you supposed to put these podcasts or the energy absurdities of the day behind a paywall? Not going to do it. Doesn't make any sense." So whatever. I have fun with
it. Whatever.
Boy, when my wife says whatever, I run. I go straight to the lake house. All right, guys. Hey, we will see everybody next time. How you get a hold of all of us is in the show notes. Please, we want to hear from you. We want you on our podcast. If you have something to say in the energy space or even funny, we want to hear from you.